Well, friends, while Donald Trump's many criminal cases struggle to survive, let's take a few minutes to talk about the many civil cases that have been brought against Donald Trump that are still alive and kicking. Because justice matters. Hey all, Glenn Kirshner here. So friends, what do we know about Donald Trump's many criminal cases? Well, we know that his two federal prosecutions are reportedly winding down. What we don't yet know is whether Special Counsel Jack Smith will ask Judge Tanya Chutkan to simply pause or stay those cases so that they can resume when Donald Trump leaves office, or whether Jack Smith will ask Judge Chutkan to dismiss them outright. We'll know more about that in the coming weeks. Donald Trump's Georgia State RICO prosecution, we know, is stuck in the appellate courts at the moment. That case's future is uncertain. We know that the sentencing in Donald Trump's criminal case in New York on 34 felony guilty verdicts is on hold, at least for the moment. We'll learn more come December 9th, when the prosecutors in that case will stake out their position in a court filing with the presiding judge, Juan Merchan. But what else do we know about Donald Trump's legal circumstances at the moment? Well, we know that the many civil suits that have been brought against him are up and running, alive and kicking, and should not be dismissed just because he will be sworn in as president again. Let's start with the new reporting. This from Bloomberg Law. Headline: Trump still faces civil lawsuits even if criminal cases go away. And that article begins, President-elect Donald Trump will bring legal baggage to the White House in January, even if he succeeds in pausing or getting rid of the 4 federal and state criminal indictments against him. Trump's reelection is expected to end the 2 federal cases, given the Justice Department's policy against prosecuting sitting criminal presidents. His defense lawyers are arguing that the same immunity principles should apply to the 2 state prosecutions, but Trump still faces at least a dozen civil lawsuits, and the presidency won't provide any special protections or way out. The U.S. Supreme Court has said that office holders aren't immune from being sued over their private conduct. Ongoing cases include attempts to hold him liable for the January 6th, 2021 attack on the U.S. Capitol, and his appeals of the $554 million New York civil fraud verdict, and rulings that he sexually abused and defamed writer E. Jean Carroll. Some of the civil suits that have been brought against Donald Trump that are up and running and should continue even after he's sworn in. January 6th, Trump is a defendant in 8 lawsuits over the January 6th attack brought by law enforcement officers, congressional Democrats, and the estate of a police officer who died. A federal judge in Washington rejected Trump's argument that he was entitled to absolute immunity. Central Park 5. Trump faced a new lawsuit shortly before the election over comments he made during the September presidential debate about 5 men who were wrongly convicted in a 1989 jogger rape case and came to be known as the Central Park 5. The 2020 election. A few weeks after the 2020 election, voting rights advocates accused Trump of trying to disenfranchise black voters by pressing false fraud allegations, because of course he did. My editorial edition. E. Jean Carroll. Trump is appealing 2 verdicts finding he sexually abused Carol decades ago and later defamed her when he accused her of fabricating the story to sell a book. A federal appeals court heard arguments in September in his challenge to the sex abuse verdict and the $5 million damages award. The other verdict, for more than $83 million in her earlier defamation case, is also on appeal. New York fraud. In February, a Manhattan judge entered a $454 million verdict against Trump after finding he exaggerated his wealth by billions of dollars a year in order to secure more favorable loan terms. So friends, those civil cases should just keep on keeping on right through Donald Trump's presidency, because he has no presidential immunity in connection with those civil cases. So let's hope the victims in those cases recover the damages that have been awarded in cases that are presently on appeal. And let's hope that the other victims in cases that are pending trial get a full and fair civil trial for the damage they contend Donald Trump inflicted on them. People like the police officers who were at the Capitol on January 6th, and the members of Congress who were at the Capitol on January 6th, and the family members of a fallen officer who was at the Capitol on January 6th, with all those people being subjected to the Trump-inspired Capitol attack. Let's hope that those folks and those family members receive a full and fair civil trial against defendant Donald Trump. Because justice matters. Friends, as always, please stay safe, please stay tuned, and I look forward to talking with you all again tomorrow.